The rain fell relentlessly outside, drumming against the windows like 1,000 tiny fists. It was the kind of storm that sent shivers down one's spine, an ominous prelude to the darkness that lurked beyond our understanding. I sat alone in my study, the flickering candlelight casting eerie shadows on the walls. Lost in my own thoughts, the crackling fireplace provided little solace against the chill that seemed to permeate my very bones. Ever since I was a child, I had possessed an uncanny ability, the gift of psychic intuition. I could sense things that others could not, hear whispers from the unseen, and catch glimpses of the future. It was a double-edged sword, a power that both intrigued and haunted me. Throughout my life, I had grappled with the weight of this gift, its presence a constant companion in my journey through the mysteries of the supernatural. My name is Samuel Anderson, a renowned paranormal investigator, and the founder of Mind Seekers Agency. My team and I had ventured into the darkest corners of the human psyche, delving into realms where reason and logic failed. Together, we sought answers to the inexplicable, unraveling the enigmas that lurked in the shadows. But little did I know that the path I had chosen would lead me to the face an enigma unlike anything we had encountered before. It was on that stormy night, as the tempest waged war outside, that the phone call came, a desperate plea for help, a voice quivering with fear. I had picked up the receiver, my heart pounding in anticipation. The trembling voice on the other end belonged to Mrs. Evelyn Holloway, a woman tormented by inexplicable occurrences in her ancestral home, Holloway Manor. Her words were laden with desperation, her voice filled with weariness of a soul burdened by the supernatural. Without hesitation, I agreed to assist Mrs. Holloway, for her distress resonated with the depths of my own being. I gathered my team: Jacob, a seasoned researcher with a skeptical mind, but an unwavering dedication to uncovering the truth; Emily, a gifted empath who could sense the emotions of both the living and the dead; and Thomas, a technical genius with an array of gadgets and instruments to aid our investigations. Together, we embarked on the treacherous path that would lead us to the heart of darkness. Arriving at Holloway Manor, we were greeted by a weary Mrs. Holloway, her face etched with lines of fear and exhaustion. Her eyes, once vibrant and full of life, now held a glimmer of despair. She led us through the dimly lit halls of the mansion, adorned with portraits of her ancestors, haunting visages staring down at us, their eyes seamlessly following our every move. The weight of history hung heavy in the air, each step we took accompanied by the echoes of generations long gone. As we settled in for the night, preparing to confront the unknown, the true horrors of Holloway Manor began to reveal themselves. Whispers, barely audible, echoed through the corridors like ghostly murmurs. The temperature dropped suddenly, chilling the very marrow in our bones. Objects moved of their own accord, defying the laws of physics. It was as if the house itself was alive, a sentient being pulsating with malevolent energy. The presence of spirits was palpable, their ethereal energy seeping into every crevice of the manor. The air crackled with a sense of foreboding, a sinister aura that clung to our skin. We witnessed shadowy figures flitting in the corners of our vision, vanishing into thin air before you could grasp their essence. There was no doubt that we had stepped into a realm where the veil between the living and the dead was tattered and thin. It was during those nights, as we sat huddled in the candlelight, that Mrs. Holloway confided in me about her family's darkest secrets. Her great-grandfather, Lord Holloway, had been a man obsessed with the occult and had delved into the forbidden rituals, seeking to harness supernatural powers for his own nefarious purposes. But in doing so, he had inadvertently unleashed a sinister force that had haunted their bloodline for generations. The Holloway family had paid a heavy price for Lord Holloway's curiosity. Tragedies had befallen them, accidents, suicides, unexplained deaths that left a trail of sorrow in their wake. The burden of the past weighed heavily on Mrs. Holloway's shoulders, and she sought solace in our expertise, a glimmer of hope in the face of the relentless supernatural onslaught. As the storm raged on outside, we delved deeper into the history of the Holloway family, unearthing tales of tragedy and betrayal. It became evident that the restless spirit we encountered was none other than Lady Amelia Holloway, the forgotten daughter of Lord Holloway. Driven to madness by her father's experiments, She had been imprisoned within the confines of the portrait. Her mind shattered, her existence reduced to eternal purgatory. The discovery of Lady Amelia's portrait sent shivers down my spine. Its presence was unsettling, an uncanny depiction of a woman with hauntingly familiar eyes. The moment I laid eyes on that painting, a searing pain shot through my head, as if my mind were being torn asunder. Visions flooded my consciousness, fragmentary glimpses of a tormented soul trapped between realms, desperately yearning for release. It was a psychic connection unlike anything I'd experienced before, a profound link to the tortured spirit. As we continued our investigations, the pieces of the puzzle began to align. We learned of Lady Amelia's tragic demise, her untimely end at the hands of her own father, Lord Holloway, consumed by his dark desires, had sacrificed his own daughter in a bid for power. Her spirit, twisted and tormented, had become a harbinger of doom for the Holloway family. In that darkened study, surrounded by dusty tomes and relics of a bygone era, we pieced together the fragments of the past. The history of Holloway Manor unraveled before our eyes, revealing a web of secrets, lies, and unspeakable horrors. It was within the hidden chamber of the mansion's basement, a secret sanctuary where Lord Holloway had conducted his experiments, that we discovered the key to unlocking the truth. The room lay hidden behind a bookcase, its entrance cleverly disguised within its depths. We found ourselves surrounded by the remnants of Lord Holloway's obsession, a forbidden library of forbidden knowledge, arcane artifacts, and the lingering presence of his insidious experiments. It was here, among the relics of the past, that we stumbled upon the portrait of Lady Amelia once more. As I stood before that haunting painting, the energy in the room shifted, crackling with an otherworldly presence. The eyes of Lady Amelia seemed to bore into my soul, her gaze piercing the veil of reality. I reached out tentatively, my fingertips gazing the canvas. It was then that a surge of psychic energy coursed through me, as if the spirit within the painting had awakened. Visions cascaded through my mind, a torrent of emotions and sensations. I witnessed Lady Amelia's descent into madness, the cruelty inflicted upon her in the depths of her spirit. Her voice echoed in my head, filled with anguish and longing, pleading for release from the prison of her own mind. It was a profound connection, as if our souls had intertwined in that ethereal realm. I understood that Lady Amelia's salvation depended on our ability to break the chains that bound her, to free her tormented spirit from the confines of the painting. Driven by a newfound determination, I shared my experience with the team. Jacob, ever the skeptic, regarded me with a mix of concern and curiosity. Emily, on the other hand, empathized with the pain I'd witnessed, her empathetic abilities allowing her to grasp the depth of Lady Amelia's suffering. Thomas, always practical and resourceful, began scouring his collection of paranormal artifacts for a solution. Days turned into nights as we delved deeper into the mysteries surrounding Holloway Manor. We consulted ancient texts, seeking any clue that might guide us in our quest. It became clear that the key to unlocking Lady Amelia's prison lay in understanding the rituals and symbols Lord Holloway had used to bind her spirit. As we pored over the crumbling pages of a centuries-old grimoire, we discovered a ritual that held promise. It required the gathering of psychic energy, channeled through a specific set of incantations and symbols. It was a risky endeavor, for the forces we would be summoning were both powerful and unpredictable. With cautious optimism, we prepared ourselves for the ritual. The air crackled with anticipation as we gathered in the hidden chamber beneath Holloway Manor. Candles flickered, casting dancing shadows on the ancient walls, while circles, signals, and runes formed a protective barrier in the center of the room. I could feel the weight of the supernatural world pressing against the boundaries of our reality. The energy in the room grew palpable, an electric charge that raised the hair on the back of our necks. Emily, with her natural affinity for spirits, positioned herself at the heart of the circle, ready to channel the psychic energy required for the ritual. Together, we began to chant the incantations, the words resonating with power and purpose. Each syllable hung in the air, as if echoing through the corridors of time. As the ritual progressed, the room transformed, the boundaries between our world and the ethereal realm thinning. Shadows danced on the wall, twisting and contorting, as if entities from beyond were drawn to our summoning. Suddenly, a presence manifested before us, swirling tendrils of darkness taking shape. Lady Amelia's spirit emerged, her ethereal form translucent yet filled with an undeniable intensity. Her eyes, once filled with despair, now stone with a glimmer of hope. But ritual had attracted not only Lady Amelia's spirit, but other malevolent entities as well. The atmosphere grew charged with their sinister energy, a tempest of rage and malice. We found ourselves caught in a battle between light and darkness, struggling to maintain control of the energies we had unleashed. In the chaos that ensued, I could sense Lady Amelia's essence growing weaker, her spirit threatened by the encroaching darkness. Desperation gripped my heart as I realized the urgency of our mission. We needed to harness every ounce of our psychic abilities to protect her, to shield her from the malevolence that sought to claim her soul. Rebecca Sinclair, a fellow psychic with extraordinary gifts, arrived at Holloway Manor at the height of the battle. She had heard of our plight and had sensed the seismic disturbance in the psychic realm. With her arrival, our team gained a newfound strength. Rebecca's powers surpassed anything I had witnessed before, her psychic energy entwining with ours, creating a barrier of light that repelled the encroaching darkness. Together, we fought with unwavering determination. Energy crackled through the room as psychic blasts collided, illuminating the chamber in brilliant bursts of light. The battle raged on, each side refusing to yield. But gradually, our combined forces gained the upper hand, pushing back the malevolent entities that threatened to consume us. In a final surge of collective energy, we managed to sever the bonds that held Lady Amelia captive. The ethereal chain shattered, their remnants dissipating into nothingness. Lady Amelia's spirit soared free, a wailing cry of relief filling the air. The evil that had plagued the Holler family for centuries dissipated, leaving behind a profound stillness. As the dust settled, we gathered our breaths, our bodies weary yet filled with a sense of accomplishment. Lady Amelia's spirit, freed from her prison, lingered for a moment, her eyes filled with gratitude. With a gentle smile, she faded into the ethereal realm, her tormented soul finally finding peace. We emerged from Holloway Manor, forever changed. Mrs. Holloway found Solon's enclosure, finally free from the clutches of the supernatural. Our team, the Mind Seekers, stood united, the bond forged through our shared experiences stronger than ever. As I sit here, penning the final words of this chapter, I ponder the mysteries of the mind and the resilience of the human spirit. The horrors we face in Holloway Manor served as a reminder of the forces that lie beyond our understanding. Yet, it was also the testament to the power of compassion, unity, and the indomitable spirit of those who seek to shed light on the darkness. The journey we embarked upon would forever be etched in our memories, a testament to the supernatural and the resilience of the human spirit. Little did we know that our encounter with Holloway Manor was merely the beginning, a prelude to the deeper horrors that await us in the shadows of the mind.